when we're good.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Molly.
You're good.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I want to welcome everybody today. Today is February 3rd of the year 2022, and we are going to proceed with the Motor Vehicles and Transportation Subcommittee, which is a subcommittee of Environment and Transportation. We do have three bills on the agenda for today. We did some work last week. We're still working on a couple of things that will get you on some of the other bills, but to be quick, we'll go with HB 94. That happens to be my bill. It is in the same posture that it was in last year. We are working with the Senate because there is a big environmental package bill, and to get the content in the same posture that it is in the Senate version, which is it's as close as it's going to be. So I think we're ready to move that bill. If somebody can move it out.
So move favorable.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there any conversation? And Patrick, we don't have any, this one, we don't have any amendments to, right? We're just waiting on, okay.
Okay.
Any conversation on HB 94?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Opposed.
Showing Delegate Parrott and Delegate Jacobs opposed to electric vehicles, and any abstentions. I have to say, I'm surprised by the two of you being opposed, because especially you, Delegate Jacobs, you made a point earlier today to talk about electric golf carts. So I was kind of confused, but I understand it's a confusing subject matter.
I'm very consistent with last year's vote.
Times change, Jay. Times change. All right. HB 105 is the next bill, motor vehicles operating when approaching disabled vehicles. We talked about this, I think, a lot last week. This subcommittee is not unfamiliar with this subject matter. We have done it for police vehicles. We've done it for emergency vehicles. And now I think there's a level of familiarity that this bill makes a lot of sense. So are there any questions about HB 105? And is there an amendment on this one?
Well, that's what I wanted to get into, and my camera's not on. Delegate Healy, have you seen the Senate amendment that they put on this bill, the cross file?
No, I have not.
It's a simple amendment. They just take out the term disabled vehicle, and they basically say any vehicle displaying hazard warning lights, road flares, other caution signals, the like.
I don't see any problem with that amendment. I think we should just adopt the Senate language.
I actually think that amendment makes the bill much better, not a little bit better. I think that makes the bill much better.
I agree.
Move we adopt the Senate amendments.
Second.
And I'm
Okay.
sorry, what did the Senate amendments do exactly?
The current bill, Delegate Parrott, talks about a car on a highway and a disabled vehicle displaying hazard warning, road flares, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The Senate takes out disabled vehicle and just says a vehicle displaying that. So it's any vehicle stopped or parked.
So
that makes sense.
I think that's a big improvement myself. Yeah.
It is. I mean, think about all the times that cars are on the side of the road. They might not necessarily be classified as disabled. They may be classified as something else, but still, nonetheless, the drivers are in danger, and for whatever reason, they can't move forward, even if they don't move, even if they don't meet the definition of disabled. So we have a first and a second. Is there any further discussion on the amendment? All right. All those in favor of adopting the amendment signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries on the bill.
I move the bill as amended.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, Delegate Learman seconds. Okay, HB 105 on the bill. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Any, okay. Opposed? Okay, any abstentions? Showing we have one opposed, Delegate Parrott. HB 105 passes. And then on to HB 157. This is a bill that we passed out last year. I think there's also an amendment on this bill. Is that true? A very small one, Patrick?
Yes, Molly, do you have that amendment to share?
Yeah, it's right on the screen right now.
It's on screen now, okay.
It is?
Can you see it?
No,
No,
we see
No.
the agenda.
Just the
Oh,
agenda.
the
Oh,
agenda.
sorry. Okay.
No worries.
The amendment does two things. One is it takes out language that ties the requirements to public funds being, given to
Locals?
so the charging space being funded by any public funds, and then money collected from utility. Didn't really think that was necessary last year. A lot of other states do have it. We talked about it over the interim with some advocates and came to the conclusion that it was not necessary. This bill was re-introed exactly from last year's bill. So we didn't put the amendment didn't get put on in time for the drafting. So that's one of the amendments. And the other amendment was an amendment that the Senate did last year, which just takes out all of the language referencing parking facilities and local parking and the like, which is probably doesn't change anything. All of those would probably still have effect, like all those parking bills that we had on parking on private property and the like. It just takes the language out, but it's probably still in effect.
could, Molly, could you scroll down? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, this is on the last page, Molly.
Okay.
Ugh.
Just 3 of 3. Yeah, lines 2 through lines 11. Did you have a question, Delegate Foley?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Since this bill is being brought by the chair of our committee, has the chair of the committees signed off on these amendments?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Patrick, can you explain the last part again by removing the parking facility owned by a local jurisdiction to privately owned parking facility and the local law authorizing the towing or removal of a vehicle? What?
Yeah, basically, what the language says is that local officials that tow the vehicle shall tow it according to local law. Private parking lot facilities shall tow it in accordance with subtitle 10A. These are all requirements anyway.
So it's redundant language is what you're saying?
It is, and the Senate took it out last year. It did go to the Senate floor last year, but it didn't make it out in time. But this amendment was put on by the Senate. I don't think it does any harm one way or the other, and why pick that fight?
Right, if this is what they need to pass the bill in the Senate and it doesn't make one difference one way or another, then
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand it.
yeah.
Okay.
The
All
other
right.
amendment, what was the other amendment?
This was an amendment that we came up with over the interim, but the bill was introduced as a reintroduction of last year's, so it didn't get put in the draft. The bill last year applied this to electric EV spaces that were funded by state funds or money collected from electric utilities. And we came to the conclusion over the interim that that's not necessary. We don't need to limit it to tying it to state funds.
No, I would think you would not, because there are still grocery stores and big
Mhm.
box stores that have this, and they shouldn't be blocking them either.
And that's what this amendment does.
Okay,
Okay.
any more questions about the amendments on the bill?
Nope.
Okay. Can I get a motion? to
So
move it?
moved, the amendments.
Okay,
Second.
oh, great, thank you. Okay, any further discussion on the amendments?
Move the bills amended, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so
We have
much.
to vote on it.
Okay, so on the amendment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? On the bill as amended? I
have a
think
question.
Delegate Boyce already moved it, right?
Second,
You have a question on the bill itself, Delegate Parrott?
Yes. I just still struggle with the language of stopping, standing, or parking. I mean, stopping, the definition is the complete cessation of movement. So they're sitting in the driver's seat. They happen to sit there. They just stopped. and then we'd give them $100 fine for that. I don't know, if it was just like, could we just do standing or parking?
So the only thing that I would say to that is that if they're stopped in a space, they'd be asked, to move, and if they don't move, they could get the ticket. I mean, theoretically, a ticket could be written without them
Right.
acknowledging that, but I don't personally have a problem with it the way it is now.
Okay.
But I don't know if anybody else does or wants to discuss it further.
No, I just think the issue was that you've got people who want to make a quick stop because it's in the front of a store or a market or whatever. They tend to park there. They tend to stop there. And so I thought the point was to keep people who are not physically charging their electric cars out of that space. And it sounds like to me, and Patrick can correct me if I'm wrong, if you do have an electric vehicle and you just are hanging around and you are not charging your vehicle, you could also be fined.
Under this bill, correct.
Yeah.
Delegate Foley?
Yeah, so Delia Parrott, maybe to me, in my mind, in terms of a stop. So for example, I'm letting someone off to go into the restaurant, wherever it is, right? I'm letting someone off. And there's a space there. So I pull in there and I let them off and then I pull away.
Mhm.
That would be a stop, right?
Yes.
But it might preclude someone from using that space because they would be circling around the parking lot and then that space would be occupied for that short period of time. Standing, of course, would be something else, which is, I'm sitting there and I'm idling and I'm waiting, right? That I think would be standing. So in my mind, I think stop and stand are two different things.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion on the bill that has been moved? Alrighty, all those in favor of the bill has been moved, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Post.
Delegate Parrott is opposed. Okay, and any abstentions? Okay, the bill carries. Hey, Patrick, when you get a sec, I know it's already done, but if we could just get a copy of, I think we probably already do, just have a copy of some of the amendments just for floor fights and potential, and others are asking me for copies of it.
I think Molly has copies.
Okay. Okay, that is it. Thank you, everyone.